Welcome back. How's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday? Some news of the day. The NHL, according to Pierre LeBrun, there have been conversations every day between the NHL, the NHLPA, and between the 16 person crew that's deciding on how the return to play is going to work. Now, where obviously it's different from other times is everything's being done virtually, so we aren't being told what's happening. We don't see any kind of visual representation of what's happening, but it is going on. And it's seen that there's maybe a 7 to 10 day period here where they're going to be able to figure this out if they're going to get it going by early January. So I've started hearing January 10th now as well. So the one thing that seems to be on the table is a 60 game season. Now I know people are going to say, well, the NBA is doing 72. Why won't the NHL do 72? The more games they play, the more money they lose. Owners, players, the more money that's being played, the more money the National Hockey League loses. They don't get the gate receipts, so you lose money. So again, this is why it'll be a shorter season than in the NBA. The NBA is a huge TV contract, absolutely huge. If there aren't fans in attendance, so be it. There's only one Canadian team. You got to move that team to Kansas City for a year, so be it. There are ways, easier ways to make it work for the NBA. It's a much more profitable situation for the NBA. And for the NHL, not so much. You don't have the flexibility. You have 7 Canadian teams, and it's more of a nightmare to put this together. So a 60-game season, a shorter season, makes a lot of sense in the NHL. I would be very surprised if they end up playing, I would say, more than 60. I'd be shocked by that. And if it's 60, and they start in mid-January, and they go in, the plan is still July 15th to have the Stanley Cup awarded at the latest, and then you can have a regular season for 2021, 2022. So there you go. Keep that in mind, that the more games they play, the more money they're going to lose. That's the key thing. So next time somebody go, I think they should play 82 games, you say, they're losing money. They lose way more money if they play more games like that. I'm throwing in some news from around the hockey world as well. German Rubtsov, who was a first-round draft pick of the Philadelphia Flyers back in 2016, had a rough season in the AHL. It has continued in the KHL. 19 games played, 1 goal and 4 assists, and he doesn't have a shot in the last 2 games he's played. So, yeah, it's not getting better for Rubtsov. I don't think he's going to be a National Hockey League player. And if it continues this way in the KHL, I'm not sure what ends up happening for him. But yeah, so there you go with that. It seems like this move made by the Avalanche to bring back this logo in Avalanche colors and to do it in an Avalanche theme. It seems that that's the overall winner of yesterday's reverse retro jerseys. And yeah, that one, Hartford, with the Carolina Hartford jerseys. And it brings up that conversation, we have it again, of, well, wait, they shouldn't be allowed to wear that because they're not Quebec. Well, they shouldn't be able to wear that, they're not Hartford. Then nobody wears it. So I can't disagree too much with that. And again, I gave almost half of the jerseys that were revealed yesterday an A. So pretty darn sharp. And if you're happy with what your team did, that's what's important, because they want your money. So go on out and buy that jersey. As for pre-sales, I'm going to say this. I did go on the Arizona shop site to ship into Canada. It's $46 American, on top of it being $200 American to buy the jersey. So it works out to over $300 Canadian. Do the math. There's 31 teams. Buy a car or buy jerseys. Well, we already have a vehicle, but I'm still, same point. I'm not crazy. I've already seen memes being created. Oh, Shanna's going to get all 31. I was going to go crazy. No, I'm reasonable, and I don't spend anywhere near the amount of money on jerseys that people think I do. This jersey in particular, I think I've had this one for 3 years, and I paid I think it was $100 at most. $100. I don't even think it was that. So, yeah, it's not a situation where I'm going to be spending $300. I don't know if Canadian sites are doing pre-orders for the American jerseys, because the American reverse retros are going to be available to the team stores first. Generally, they're available to the team stores for the first week, and then other sellers can sell them. Now, I, of course, go through Ben H Sports for most of the new jerseys that come out. And there are some he can't get. There are some he let me know, I can't get this. There was even one that he had told me, I think I can get this one for you, and then emailed me back and he said, no, I can't. I don't actually have any of those. So, sorry, that team's out. And it's a lot of teams that he said, I really wanted these jerseys, but I could not get them. So don't be surprised if they're not available a lot of places. And then it's, do they do another run? I don't have an answer. It looks like these may just be a limited edition jersey. They may not do another run. That might be it. So the good news is if they're that popular, they end up being a third jersey and a team keeps them around. Look at all the Winter Classic jerseys that become thirds. So don't get panicked. Don't make your bank account just go poof. And I know what I'm getting at this stage, and I know there are some I can't get that I really want. Arizona at this point, I'm sort of shrugging my shoulders and going, I'm not getting the purple Coyote. It's not going to happen. And that's fine too, because eventually if I'm meant to have it, I'll have it. Right? It's not really a big deal. And, you know, I understand all the excitement about the retro reverse jerseys right now, but it's going to be tough to find some of them. And that's how that works. And I think part of it is that with all the shutdowns we've had nationally and not just in this country, obviously, but globally, I think the production facilities that make jerseys are dealing with a lot of shortages too. 2020, and I know for people who may or may not know, my wife sews all her own clothes. She's definitely sewn me a lot of clothes as well, the shirts, not jerseys, not yet. But she's had a hard time getting fabric at different times this year because it's just not being made. So even if she's ordering through the US, she's ordering through Canadian sellers, there just wasn't fabric at certain points in time being manufactured. And this may be affecting NHL jerseys as well. So there is the cynic that may look at the situation and say Adidas is shorting people on purpose to create more hype, or it's just the reality of what we're going through in 2020, that, you know, nothing's working as it should, and therefore jerseys that we might normally have a great variety of, they're not there. For people asking the NHL 21 question, of course they'll add a patch, and of course they'll put all those jerseys in the game. The NHL wants money, and therefore those reverse retro jerseys are a good way to get that money. So there you go. World Junior Championships coming up in Edmonton. Early preliminary results seem to be that despite Canada's numbers all trending in the wrong direction, they're looking at the bubble, the no fans that the World Junior Championship has planned in Edmonton, a city which showed in the NHL playoffs they could do a bubble situation and host teams. They're saying it looks good, that we're going to have the World Junior Championships. We're going to get that all figured out. And this is, again, despite the numbers being kind of ugly, and it's all over, really, other than Eastern Canada, which is like, leave us out of it. The whole Maritimes has been like, you can stay home, you get out, you're not coming here, and no, just no. Kudos to them for that. The fact that if I tried, my family, we tried driving in, they'd be like, get out. No, we don't care. Get out. I don't care here. Get out. Kudos. So the World Junior Championships in Edmonton, that's probably going to be the first hockey where we're having like live streams during the games, and we're going over them, and I'll be doing full reviews, that kind of thing. Because it'll be during a time that I'm awake, I'm alert, and majority of the subscribers to the channel are also awake and alert. Swedish Hockey League rescheduling some games. I was going through their site, and there's some games being rescheduled due to positive COVID tests. This is just reality for them, and there's been periods where it looks like they're going to have to shut down, and they haven't. But there's been some concerns along the way, so they're moving things around. And Frölunda is on top of the league. They're the best team in the league. Now, when you're doing translations and Google Translates, and you look at how they figure out their win-loss records and all this, and some of it doesn't translate well, I'll just say Frölunda's at the top. They're number one. Good on them. And, of course, that is the team that has Raymond, the prospect of the Red Wings, on it. And he's still sitting at 5 goals and 5 assists in 17 games, according to their site. So, good start for them. Speaking of Red Wings, Hronek, playing in the Czech Extraliga,
has 10 games played, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points. So if you're wondering how Filip Hronek's doing, he's doing very well. As is Jonathan Berggren. Berggren, there's an article actually on the SHL site regarding him. And again, if you're an English speaker and you're going through, it's going to be Google translated, but you get the gist of everything when you're going through it. And it is nice if you're a Red Wings fan to go, hey, all these young kids in Europe that are doing well, a lot of them are Red Wings property. Yep. That's kind of by design. KHL scoring leader right now is Jori Lehtera. 21 games, 5 goals, 24 assists, 29 points. And of course, one thing with the KHL, one question with the KHL that always gets asked is, what's the level of hockey over there? I would say that because it's played on a different ice surface, it's kind of apples to oranges. But in terms of the players that are over there, it is comparable to the AHL in relation to the talent level. But again, we see some guys come over from the KHL and they do very, very well in the NHL, and others come over and they're Shipachev in Vegas, where it just doesn't work. But yeah, so Lehtera is the leading scorer, which is odd, right? You know, Lehtera, who was in the NHL not long ago, leaves unceremoniously. Now he's the leading scorer in the KHL. There you go. There's 2020 for you. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.